To start, Trace McSorley, I'm sure a lot of you guys knew this, has joined the Penn State staff as an assistant quarterback coach. He was one of the most successful Penn State quarterbacks that we've had. He has 30 rushing touchdowns, which is fifth, which is kind of crazy for a quarterback, especially since we've had some really good running backs come through Penn State. He won a Big Ten championship and was the Big Ten championship MVP. The NFL Combine, Jaylen Reed was the only guy from Penn State that participated. 4.49 40-yard dash, 1.51 10-yard split, 33.5-inch vertical, and then 19 reps on the bench press. Just want to shout out Saquon Barkley as well. March 4th, he signed a 2-year contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Road to Happy Valley. I'm your host, Noah Malone. So on today's episode, it's going to be a combination of a couple different things. But to start, I just wanted to let everybody know that the official State Media merch shop is now live. I'm rocking the Penn State Retro Snapback, as you guys can see. I've been wearing that other Penn State hat in a lot of my videos, and it was probably time to bring in a new one. So they've got t-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, hats, bunch of great stuff, really nice quality. And a percentage of all sales on the store goes towards the Happy Valley United Collective. So go take a look at the psushop.com, or you can click the link in any of the State Media bios. Go grab some gear, and all of that ends up helping out Penn State in the NIL process anyways. So don't be the reason that we don't pull off a national championship because you couldn't go buy a hat. So a couple things. I want to talk about the remaining 2025 class, but before I get into that, there was a few things that I wanted to address, kind of just like some housekeeping type things. To start, Trace McSorley, I'm sure a lot of you guys knew this, has joined the Penn State staff as an assistant quarterback coach. Kind of just want to rattle off some of the things that he's accomplished while he was at Penn State. I think it tends to go under the radar now that hasn't been at the university for a while as it was in the NFL, and what better time to give him his flowers than right now when he's coming back to Penn State. So he was one of the most successful Penn State quarterbacks that we've had. He was second in passing yards with 9,899. Second in passing TDs with 77. He's third in pass attempts with 1,215. He's second in completions with 720. He's got a 59.3% career completion percentage. He has 30 rushing touchdowns, which is fifth, which is kind of crazy for a quarterback, especially since we've had some really good running backs come through Penn State. He was responsible for 107 touchdowns, which is first in university history. And then he's second in total wins at 31. The guy that's ahead of him in a lot of those stats is Sean Clifford. So shouts out to Sean. He had a great college career as well. Want to touch on some of his accomplishments as far as awards and things like that go. In 2016, he led us to a win against Penn State. Obviously, it wasn't just him, but he was the quarterback. A lot of great plays in that game. I remember rushing the field. It was awesome. Still trying to hunt that feeling back. He won a Big Ten championship and was the Big Ten championship MVP, and he led Penn State to a Rose Bowl in that year in 2016. That was also the same year that Penn State was snubbed for a college football playoff, but we can save that for another day. In 2017, he was a Fiesta Bowl champion, and the Fiesta Bowl offensive MVP. And then in 2016 and 2017, he was second team All Big Ten. Trace ended up having a career in the NFL. I'm assuming it really didn't go as planned for him, but nevertheless, he was still in a lot of great quarterback rooms, got to be a part of a lot of great teams. So he was drafted he ended up on the Ravens, and he was in a quarterback room with Lamar Jackson and RG3. Two Heisman winners, Lamar, great NFL quarterback. RG3 had some injuries that he had to battle through, but definitely a great college quarterback, had a great college career. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, two other guys that were phenomenal college quarterbacks, and just really good guys to be around. He ended up on the Patriots, Bears, Steelers, Commanders, and then ultimately that's where he found himself. Coming back to Penn State was after the Commanders. So welcome back, Trace. I think that him coming back is going to be maybe not necessarily first, because I think he probably still has a lot of learning to do as an assistant quarterback coach. It's definitely different making that transition from being a player into being a coach. But I still think he's going to bring some really good value to Penn State. I think NFL experience is going to be great to bring back. He's won a lot of football games. He knows how to win football games. And then just being a familiar face around the university never really hurts anything. I know that him and Drew are completely different builds, but I think Trace is going to have somewhat of an impact as far as helping the development with Drew Aller for this final year. Okay. Second, the NFL Combine was this last weekend. Jaylen Reed was the only guy from Penn State that participated. So shout out to Jaylen. I think he made himself some money. I think the other guys are probably saving it for the Penn State Pro Day. I know that Abdul is still trying to get fully healthy, so makes a lot of sense for those guys to skip the Combine, do whatever workouts you want to do at Penn State during Pro Day. Some of Jaylen's numbers: 4.49 40-yard dash, 1.51 10-yard split, 33.5-inch vertical, and then 19 reps on the bench press. Way to go, Jaylen. I think the biggest thing was the 4.49 40-yard dash. Anytime you're under 4.5, anytime you have a 4.4 at the 40, you're in a really good spot. And then lastly, I would just want to shout out Saquon Barkley as well. March 4th, he signed a 2-year contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. 2-year deal, $41.2 million contract extension. Absolutely crazy. Like I said, highest number for running back in NFL history. Couldn't be happier for Saquon. I am an Eagles fan. It doesn't get any better than having a guy that I got to watch at Penn State go play for my favorite team. So I watched him obviously when we were at Penn State, and then I got the pleasure of watching him all season with the Eagles this year. And I mean, what can we really say about this guy that hasn't been said yet? Huge part of the Eagles' success this season and helped them win a Super Bowl. Fully deserved it. Offensive Player of the Year. Congrats to Saquon. Really looking forward to seeing what you can do with the Eagles next year. So that leads me into the remaining guys from the 2025 class. So these are going to be the guys that aren't on campus quite yet, and we'll get there once the spring semester is over. So I talked a little bit about Malachi Goodman last episode, 5-star offensive tackle out of Paramus, New Jersey. He had offers from everywhere across the country. And I think he was one of those guys that I highlighted to go out there and have a really good chance to start on the offensive line coming in. Next, we've got 4-star edge Chaz Coleman out of Warren, Ohio. 4-star cornerback Jameer Joseph out of Montvale, New Jersey. 4-star tight end Matt Henderson out of Powhatan, not sure, Virginia. 4-star wide receiver Jeff Exonor out of Baltimore, Maryland. 4-star running back Jabri Wallace Coleman out of Philadelphia, PA. 4-star linebacker Cam Smith out of Salem, New Jersey. I believe Cam Smith was one of the guys that was committed. He was committed to Duke, and we ended up getting him to flip and change his commitment to Penn State. He was another Philadelphia guy, and I think having Jim Knowles now as the defensive coordinator, I've said this plenty of times already, but he was heavily influenced in the Philadelphia area, and I think we could start to see more guys from Philadelphia end up at Penn State. Carrying on, 3-star edge Cortez Harris out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. 3-star corner Xavier Thomas out of Cannonsburg, PA. 3-star tight end Brady O'Hara out of Pittsburgh, PA. And then 3-star cornerback Josh Johnson out of Ironton, Ohio. So I won't rule any of these guys out as far as having the opportunity to come in and make an impact right away. I think there's a lot of guys returning on defense, and there was a lot. I would say out of the rest of the guys that have to get on campus, it's what? An edge, a corner, linebacker, edge, corner, corner. So out of those remaining guys, there's 6 of them that are on the defensive side of the ball. I won't rule out any of them coming in and making an impact right away. I know along the defensive line that Deion Barnes will not hesitate to play you no matter how old you are, right? So you come in, or whatever star you were too. I mean, he doesn't care. And that seems to be one of the big things about Penn State is it always seems like they have some decent depth along their defensive line and along just the defense in general. As much depth as you can have in college, right? So I think that's something to keep an eye out. Chaz Coleman, 4-star edge out of Warren, Ohio. Keep an eye on him. 4-star cornerback Jameer Joseph out of Montvale, New Jersey. Keep an eye on him. I think the biggest thing about those guys that are coming in the summer is they'll already be slightly behind some of those guys that were the early enrollees, but I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world. I think that they'll have some catching up to do, obviously, but I think that if they are locked in and they're dedicated, which I'm sure that'll be the case, they'll be able to go out there and put together a good summer and gain some weight, learn the playbook, and ultimately go out there and compete and try to earn some playing time, right? So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to get the rest of these guys on campus. Being able to put together your entire recruiting class, see everybody kind of out there all together, see how they stack up, see how the team begins to take shape and really hear about who has been making an impact in some of these winter workouts. I know that they have a player, whoever dominated the day in workouts, that coaches have been tweeting out whatever player that is. I have to go back and take a look at that, but I think that's definitely something to keep an eye out. I think we've seen a couple guys already at the defensive side of the ball, and then I want to say, I think Kyron Hudson as well won a couple of like competitor of the days. So it seems like things are going pretty well. I'm going to tune into that, probably do a follow-up video of the competitors of the day, see what other information I can come across, try to give you guys a little bit more of an inside look on how winter practices have been going. And then, I mean, spring and summer are right around the corner. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure you guys are too. So that'll wrap it up for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about the combine. What are you looking forward to as far as pro day goes? Which one of these remaining recruits, signees are you guys looking forward to getting on campus and seeing how they go out there and perform with the rest of the team? Thanks everyone. I'll talk to you guys later. We are.